In this video, we are going to continue our example of using contingency tables with conditional probabilities, and this study of 1006 adult Gen Z social media users. And so we made the contingency table in the last video, and now we're going to calculate some probabilities. So these first two probabilities, part A and C, are just, your typical empirical probabilities. They're empirical because it's from data, right? It's not for the whole population. So for A, our table we're going to use for B, and it says find the probability that a person spends 4 or more hours per day on social media. So that's out of everybody. So it's the probability of 4 plus hours per day. And so that is going to be out of everybody. So out of everybody, it's all the people who spent 4 plus hours. So that's the 604. So that is 604 out of 1006. And so just calculating that probability off camera, we get 604 divided by 106 is 0.6003, or about 60%. All right, so about 60% of all the people in the study used social media for 4 or more hours per day. For part C, it asks us to find the probability that a person reports that social media negatively affects their mental health. So for that one, we're going to have the probability of a negative effect on mental health is going to be equal to, so here we're doing color have I not used? Purple, green, yellow. We're doing the 606 out of 1006. So remember, the M is for the people who had felt that social media negatively affects their mental health. Okay, so 6, we're going to get a very similar answer because above it's 604 divided by 1006, but here it's 606 divided by 1006. And so here we get 0.6002, or about 60.2%. Oh, no, I think I wrote that wrong. It's not. This one, it's not erasing, is 2, 3. Actually, that's a 4, but it doesn't matter because we're at either way it rounds to 60.2%. Okay, so now for our last two parts, we're going to calculate some conditional probabilities, and you might be hearing a few little kitten squeaks in the background. All right, so part D says find the probability that a person reports negative mental health effects given that they spend 4 or more hours on social media. So given is that key word where we are reducing our sample space from everybody in the survey to just the people who spend 4 or more hours. So that's those people. So this is our updated sample space, if you will. And so the probability of experiencing a negative effect given 4+ hours per day is going to equal the, so this is our given, right? So that's out of 604. That's the total people who use social media 4+ hours per day. And that is out of the this 441 are the ones who experience the negative effect. And so I'm going to put that in the calculator. And the reason why I'm not just leaving it as a fraction and putting it in the calculator is because this is a different denominator than B and C. And it's also going to be different in E as well. All right, so 441 divided by 604 equals 0.7301, or about 73%. All right, so that's a big portion of the people who use social media 4+ hours a day who are experiencing negative mental health effects. All right, so for our final part, E, find the probability that a person spends 4 or more hours on social media given, so remember, here's our given that they report negative mental health effects. So this is the opposite. So for this one, we are now reducing the sample space to the people who experience negative mental health effects right there. So that 606. So the probability of 4+ hours given negative effects equals, so the total number of people who experience negative effects is 606, and it's actually the same for 41 because those are the people who spend 4+ hours per day. All right, so it's going to be a pretty similar number to above because the numerator is the same and the denominator are pretty close together. So we're going to do 441 divided by 606, and we get 7277, well, 0.72. 0.7277, or about 72.8%. So the probability that someone spends 4 or more hours on social media, given that they report negative health effects, is, we could round it up to 73%, slightly under that. So that's a lot. And that's it. We're done.